So Rashmi, all set?
Okay.
Almost time to.
Yes, we can start in a minute.
Yes.
So we have Yogendra Bhai. Hi Yogendra, how are you? Yogendra has been coming to our club. I think this is the second or third time I saw you in our club
गुड
meeting.
इवनिंग सर।
कैसे हैं सब?
बिल्कुल बढ़िया सर।
Nice to see you.
मैंने
Nice
कहा
to
आज
see
बहुत
you.
बड़े बड़े लोग आ रहे हैं, मैंने कहा लेट मी जस्ट कम।
हाँ, बिल्कुल छोटे बड़े सब एक साथ हो जाते हैं हमारे
नहीं
meeting
मैडम, योर
में.
एक्सपीरियंस, आई मीन लाइक योर एक्सपीरियंस इज मच
In fact,
bigger
I
than
had
me.
called, I had invited Usha and Uday also, who also attended the convention, but I think they are traveling.
Actually.
Shall I
Well,
start?
Yes, please.
Set? All right. Good evening, everybody. My
Good
name is
evening.
Rashmi. I'm your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, 437th meeting of Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs. Today, not today, some time ago at Crescendo, Milind sir had made me Sergeant at Arms for the international speech contest. And he told me that this is the only contest where the speaker is going to compete in the international level. And since then, I have been wondering, but what is this international convention? And he said, in time, Rashmi, I will give you the answer. He, in his hand gesture like this, if you all can imagine him like that. And today we are all gathered here for that particular experience sharing moment where the synergy of the entire convention district leaders is coming to bridge that knowledge gap for all of us. To go forward, I would like to set some ground rules for this meeting. Please let me know once you can see my screen. I would like to request everybody to please put your device on mute or your audio on mute when you are not speaking. You can keep your video on as much as possible. Please encourage the speakers by using the emojis, which is the clap sound and the thumbs up. Please observe all the speeches. You can share your feedback with the speaker on the personal chat and kindly refrain from using the chat window when the speaker is speaking. Let me read out the club mission. When I'm trying to change the slide, it usually happens with me. I'm very sorry. The club mission for Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To take this meeting forward, I would like to invite somebody, a dedicated, distinguished Toastmaster who is a founder of Ignite Your Mind. With a big round of applause using the emojis, kindly welcome our President Neha Jaju.
Thank you so much, dear Rashmi, for such a warm welcome. Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. This meeting this evening is very, very special for Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs. We always take pride in numerous Toastmaster of the Day themes that we keep in our club. These themes help us to take a step closer towards our entrepreneurship journey. And amongst these themes, there are few meetings that we keep for our district leaders. Sometimes the meetings are for distinguished Toastmasters, wherein all the roles are taken by them. Sometimes for women leaders in our district. Sometimes all the past presidents are invited. And sometimes for meeting like this, for this evening, we have all the distinguished Toastmasters and Toastmasters who have been to international convention and who bring back lots of memories, lots of vision, and so many valuable learnings and lessons for all of us to learn and grow. My dear friends, generally in a Toastmaster meeting, as a president, I invite each and every Toastmaster and guest, especially guests, to share their introduction. But today, the meeting is full of our Toastmaster friends and guests, and I'm pretty sure if I start taking their introduction, half of the meeting would go by. So I'll skip that part, and I warmly welcome each one of you once again. And before we understand what is this international convention that we've all been creating hype about and we've all been talking about, I would ask our Zoom master to kindly play a reel that we've prepared of all our district leaders who have attended international convention. Zoom master, kindly play the reel. Please show a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Such a proud moment for all of us. First year as District 125 and we achieved this Red Lit Distinguished status.
Distinguished District 125, hip hip! Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Indeed, 3 cheers for our district. Thank you so much, Zoom Master, for this fantastic reel. And thank you so much, Rashmi, for compiling this. And I would also like to thank all our district leaders for sharing this wonderful pictures and memories of their visit to International Convention. What a wonderful and proud journey we saw just now. A big round of applause for District 125. Now, my dear friends, it's time for us to open our minds and clap with all our heart and invite someone who is the longest standing member of our club, the oldest member of Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs, and also our favorite and the immediate past district director of District 125, distinguished Toastmaster Milind Patawardhan. So the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Presiding Officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Neha Jaju, and a warm welcome to all of you here today from our club as well as from outside, and a special mention to our District Director Sushil Pawar, Program Quality Director Uday Zagavkar, Colonel, our Club Growth Director Dr. Kamaljit Kaur Sidhu, past District Director Mayank Naidu, Who else am I missing? Dr. Sheikh, Dr. Shakil Sheikh, who has been a guiding light of our district for several years and was the PQD a couple of years back. And many, many more such Rajesh Daga, distinguished Toastmaster, many distinguished Toastmasters here. A very, very warm welcome. Let me also warmly welcome Sanchit Chitre. I'll tell you why he is here. He's here for a very special reason. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. So that is Vishal Shevade again is here for a very special reason. I will tell you why. So thank you very much, first of all, Presiding Officer Neha and Rashmi for setting up the context of this meeting and also giving an opportunity to me to conduct this meeting. In fact, it was at my request that this meeting was conducted on the convention because I felt that I mean just to give a background, the theme of today is learnings from the Toastmasters International Convention, and I have been fortunate to have attended five conventions consecutively. The first one, of course, was an online when there was the pandemic. I attended that online sitting in the comfort of my home. But after that, 4 years, I attended. And at each of these conventions, and of course, thanks to our district and our district members, that I got this opportunity to represent our district over there. And every time I attend these conventions, I learned so much. I grew up as a person, as a Toastmaster, so much. And I felt that these learnings, these takeaways, these observations which I have seen at the convention is something which I should share with my club and my district, because it is from there that I have risen and I got this opportunity over here. Those of you who may not know, like she said, I am the oldest member of Toastmasters from Pune Entrepreneurs Club. And I, of course, started as a member, and thanks to all of you, I got opportunities. You gave me opportunities. Special mention to Ajay Hiraskar, the mentor of our club, who in fact encouraged me to take up these roles. And I kept taking it, and this is how I am over here. So today, what I did was giving my own observations or learnings. Why not also invite several district leaders in our district who have in this past years attended this convention? Because each one has a different outlook, each one has a different way of looking at things, each one has a different understanding of what happens at the convention. So today I'm very fortunate that I have a handful of such leaders, and some more will join. I can Mayank, if you can help me just call Nitesh Agarwal. He was supposed to join at 7 o'clock.
I'll,
If you can just, yeah, just
yes.
do that for me. So, and we're also going to have Prasad Soni, who's going to join towards the end of this meeting. So these are all leaders who have been to the convention for several years. And let's listen to from all of them today, what they saw, what they heard, and what they say. So this is what we are going to do in this meeting today. And of course, we're going to have a wonderful speaker and an evaluation and a table topic. That's the normal thing which we have in our meetings. So this is also as far as the timing goes, you might find that sometimes it might go a little topsy-turvy compared to the agenda, because depending on who is available when, I will bring them in to share their experiences. Okay. So, but overall, we'll try to see how we can maintain the meeting within the time schedule which is allocated to us, that we end by 8:55 or 9 o'clock latest. Okay. So let's get a little further. And you saw a wonderful film just now, and I'm going to share my screen and show you broadly what I have seen happening in a Toastmasters convention. Uh, and I have put it into four buckets. I hope my screen is visible to you. So, a Toastmasters convention typically goes over 4 days. It happens in the August month of a year, in this third week, fourth week. In fact, I am not a little happy because the last three conventions, I missed the Independence Day celebrations in India because it happened around 15th of August. This year, fortunately, it was after, but then I had the celebration in Chicago. So this convention has a very long history and a legacy. As you all know, Toastmasters was started in 1924, and the convention, it seems, now this is all data from various sources, started in 1935. The World Championship of Public Speaking, which is held at the convention, we are going to hear more about it, started somewhere in 1938. And at the convention, basically, there are two components. Um, One is a 2-day training program for all the district leaders. By district leaders, I mean the trio members. That is the district director, the program quality director, and the club growth director. So first 2 days, we have the training for these district leaders, and the remaining 4 days is the convention. So the convention in the real sense of the word is for 4 days. And these 4 days are action packed. You will see it. You really have to run from room to room. It's quite a tiring experience, and it's a wonderful forum to learn, network, explore growth opportunities, understand Toastmasters policies. Most of us have been now Toastmasters for a long time. It is very important to understand the vision and the mission of Toastmasters, and uh, if you really have to, grow up as a leader, and this is a wonderful place to understand what their plans are, what their constraints are. Like any organization, this organization also has got constraints. It also has got targets. It also has got KRAs, KPIs, and the review of that also happens during this thing. So as I said, typically there I have put the events in 4 buckets. One is the business sessions, then are the various events, then are the learning opportunities, and then of course we have fun. Like you see my backdrop over here, it says Dr. Ralph C. Smedley saying that the best learning happens in moments of joy. And obviously the entire convention is in a very wonderful vibes there. A lot of dancing happening. Mayank is going to tell us a little more about all that. So it's a great place, and these are so you will see that there is a lot of 4 things which happened during those 4 days at the convention. And today we are going to learn from various speakers about various points which I have written over here and understand what. So this is what the whole idea is, to share the learning, share the observations with all of you, and this is how we are going to go about doing it. So as we go further, as I said, this is also a classical. Oh, let's welcome our past district director and past region advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Nitesh Agarwal.
Thank you.
He has been, something, the very coincidence. I don't know whether Nitesh is happy or not happy with it. His birthday falls on 19th of August, and invariably he is at the convention. I have attended his birthdays for the last 3-4 years because we are all there at the convention when his birthday happens. This time the icing on the cake was that Nitesh was also there with his wife and son. So hopefully, you got a little opportunity to celebrate with your family also. Otherwise, this is how sometimes, your duty takes you away. And even important events like your birthday, sometimes you have to, sacrifice for the sake of the assignment or the work that we are doing. So let's get further. We'll of course go discuss more about this convention, but let's also understand who is going to help us overall conduct this meeting. We have, as I said, a distinguished panel of members from various clubs, district leaders who are over here. The meeting was, of course, started by our exuberant Rashmi, Sergeant at Arms, who many of you may not know. She is a real estater. So any one of you who wants real estate, get into real estate, with a commercial or residential, Rashmi is the person to go. So thank you, Rashmi, for all the effort. She also is the Vice President Education of our club. And thank you very much for a very energetic start and all the arrangements, Rashmi, that you've been doing over the last almost, I think, 2-3 weeks, along with Neha, to make this meeting a success. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We, of course, heard from our presiding officer, and we now are going to get into. So, do we have Abhishek here, who's going to be the timer? Abhishek?
Yes, we
So
have.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
you are going to have a tough time today because you will know what is not you'll not know what is happening here, because we are going to go a little berserk with the various timings, but overall we'll try to maintain within that. Okay, so take it easy, keep flashing cards. I am not sure how many of us will really bother looking at them, but you try your best. Okay, you do your job. So Abhishek is again is a member of our club almost for the last 1.5 years. Entrepreneur, studied in the US. I remember, came back and joined his father's business. He is into environmental topics. So Abhishek, just let's say hello to everybody and tell us what we are supposed to do, although we may not really do that. Okay, so go ahead, Abhishek. Stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Milind, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As your timer today, my role is simple but crucial. All great speeches balance content with timing, and my job is to help you stay within that balance so your message lands effectively. As timer, I will be recording the duration of each prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation. I'll be signaling that with changing my background to green, yellow, and red. Green means uh, green means we have reached the minimum time. Yellow means you are midway, and red means it's time to wrap up. The speaker will get another 30 seconds to conclude the delivery, after which he or she will be disqualified from voting. I'll signal that by flashing my background with red and white. For prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. For table topics, it is 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes. Just as Toastmasters helps us bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be as communicators, these signals help us manage the journey within time. With that, I will diligently track today's timing and report when called upon. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Abhishek, for this job that you're doing. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're going to have an R counter. Now, this gentleman who is going to play the role of R counter was partner in crime with me. We shared the room at Philadelphia when we were there about a month back. A wonderful Toastmaster. I have been to his house, and somebody you would not believe even there he used to get up at 5:30 in the morning and go for a jog and disturb me a little. So I'm talking of Vishal Shevade. So Vishal Shevade was at the convention, and Vishal, I would like you to explain your role as an accounter and also tell us a little about this was Vishal's first convention, and Vishal took the initiative, and we were in touch, and Vishal really enjoyed it. So Vishal, you're going to tell us about your experience. As you explain your role, also tell us about your experience at the convention. I know you attended a lot of education sessions and keynote speeches, and here he was the one who had who had the privilege of dancing with the World Championship of Public Speaking. I don't know how many of you saw his pictures. He dancing with Savya Sachis and Gupta over there. So Vishal, stage is yours. In about 3 to 4 minutes, explain us about your role as an accounter and also tell us about your experiences specifically on the learnings education sessions. Stage is yours, Vishal.
Thank you, Milind. Okay, greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role today is R counter. The purpose of R counter is to note words and sounds that use as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and ar. By reporting this, when called back, I would ensure that we get the report of these fillers being used, and that would bridge the gap between we becoming a good speaker and we becoming a better speaker. So that's my role. When called upon, I would present my report. Coming back to Toastmasters Convention, it was my first convention, and I was really looking forward and glad that Milind connected with me, and we shared the room, and that was a big support system. So thank you, Milind, for that. And getting onto the first day, of course, I was looking forward. One of the first thing was, how did I join Toastmasters? I landed upon Toastmaster Dhananjay Hetyaranch's video, and I was mesmerized by his speech. And I said, if I have to learn, I need to learn from the best. And that was a long plan, and that actualized after a couple of years. And that's what really, the desire came really true, landing onto the convention. So the desire was to look at the best speakers. But believe me, I was far more than wrong. And why I say this? Because Toastmasters is a lot more than just the speakings or cracking that that speakers tag, but more of networking. And who in world gives you a platform that in one conference room you would meet 100 plus people from different countries? And the first day was exceptional looking at that. And I said, I am here going to hear, see something really charismatic. All said done, the education sessions, and of course knowledge sharing with the directors, our DTM director Sushil, then with Milin, with Kamaljit ma'am, and with Colonel Uday. It was another inspiring session because they helped me to not to miss any of the sessions. The education sessions were really amazing. You get to listen the best speaker that comes. He happens to be a public, he was the world championship winner, Ed Tate, and I loved his training. It was a big learning for me being as a trainer. And uh, and and the big event was looking at the speaker, the contest, and I got a chance. And not to tell anyone others, I also got to judge a event which was in the semifinals. So it was a big experience out there. And yeah, and somehow when you participate, you want to be at one. And when you see Sabyasachi winning the contest, because Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, the name sounds familiar, though he was from a different club altogether. But when he won, and the night when the party was on, the DJ from which country he was, God knows, but he was playing Bollywood songs. And I said, man, this is what it is, you know. And I have a lot many videos recorded of the Bollywood songs out there. The Indian person making it there. It was, I could connect a lot better. But here's what, apart from seeing the speakers, but it was more of networking, learning to be better person. I met one of the lady and I told her I'm here for best of the speakers, and she gave me a best of the prospective, which changed my overall concept of Toastmasters. She said, it's only about winning or looking at the speakers. Isn't it about networking and meeting so many fabulous speakers? And yes, it is really meeting those fabulous individuals and all Toastmasters with one tag and one mission. So thank you, Milind. It was really amazing. And I insist that you people as well, I mean, including me, going down for the next convention, it is definitely, it's the next level thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. And yeah, in fact, I know that some days I was driving Vishal that no, this is an event you have to go and listen, because I have seen it for the last 3 4 years, and I didn't want him. He said that no, this session why should I attend? No, this session you have to attend. After all, when you go for such a convention, you should get the full out of it. It's an expensive affair, and therefore you should extract the complete value for the money that you have paid from it. And therefore, sometimes, I was pushing Vishal to go and attend this session, that session, and stuff like that. So I hope, Vishal, you are okay with that. And just to tell you, like what Vishal said, there are almost 1,000 people in the convention, and from more than 100 countries. Okay, that's the statistics. And just to give a little more trivia, the convention started in 1935, and unfortunately, it has not been outside the US, but for 3 or 4 times. And maybe Nitesh can correct me on that. It was held in Vancouver in something like 2017, then Kuala Lumpur once. That's the second time it was held outside the US. They tried in 2021, it was supposed to be held in Paris, but that got cancelled. And next year, again, it is going to be in Vancouver. But for these 3 4 times, it has always been in North America and US. But I'm sure the way India is growing as a geography for Toastmasters, the day may not be very far that the convention will be held, if not in India, somewhere very close to India. And all of us will get an opportunity, because I know traveling to the US is an expensive affair. So definitely we'll get. But do you know that you can attend the convention online by paying some $75? The entire convention, entire 4 days, including the World Championship of Public Speaking, just by paying $75. $75 is how much? 6,500 or 7,000 rupees. You can attend all the 4 days of the convention. And my request to you is that next year when the convention happens, I can quite understand you may not be able to go there, but do invest in this $75. Maybe 3 or 4 of you can pull up The timings are a little different. I know it's about 11 hours, 12 hours thing, but it is worth the while. Let me tell you that. Do attend it. Do invest in yourself. Do invest in the $75 and do experience all that we have experienced. Let's move on. We'll next give it to our language evaluator, Colonel Uday Zagaukar, who he's been at the convention, I think, for the second time. Last year, I shared a room with Colonel Uday when he was the club growth director. And this year he was there as a program quality director. So Uday has very graciously agreed to play the role of a grammarian or language evaluator for us today. And Uday, as you explain your role and the word of the day, would you also be kind enough to tell us about your learnings from the convention, especially the district leader training, which I think this is the second year you have attended. What happens over there? They really make you work hard. Kamaljit Kaur will vouch for that. Those 2 days of training, they really make you very, very work very hard. And punctuality, all these things which we talk about. Believe me, last 5 conventions, I have never seen a session starting even half a minute late. That's the kind of a punctuality that they follow, and that is what we as Toastmasters have imbibed. So I always say the fifth value of Toastmasters, besides integrity, respect, service, excellence, is punctuality. Over to you, Kanal, for your role and a little sharing in about 4 to 5 minutes about your learnings, especially on the DLT, on the district leader training.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Milind Patawardhan. It's been an honor to be the language evaluator in this August gathering. My role today as a language evaluator is to pay attention to all the speakers right from the start till the end and take out the good usage of the word, not so good usage of the words, and grammatical error. I think not so good usage and grammatical errors will not be there today, but there'll be plenty or plethora of good words which will try and capture it. As a language evaluator, it is also my duty to introduce you the word of the day and idiom of the day. The word of the day is synergy, meaning combined effects that's greater than the sum of the individual effort. Example, the convention showcased the true synergy of global leaders working together. Would anybody like to try the word of the day? Synergy? Yeah, Kirti.
Today's meeting is the success story of the synergy of all the members who've attended the convention.
Wow, wonderful users, Kirti. Thank you very much. Now, idiom of the day. Idiom of the day, bridging the gap, has already been used by two persons, I think Vishal and Abhishek. Bridging the gap meaning to connect the people or ideas that are previously apart, creating an understanding or unity. So again, this international convention is all about bridging the gap between the culture and the communities. Since it was an international convention, I used both the synergy and bridging the gaps to that. I would request somebody to use the idiom of the day, please. Yeah, Nitesh.
District helps us bridge the gap between world headquarters and other organization policies to help our members understand and perform better.
Thank you very much. Wonderful usage of the word, which is there. Now, coming back to the convention, learning of these conventions. So this was my second year of the convention. And what a great bonding I found about, because most of the people who were last year as the CGDs, either they were the PQDs or the division directors, which were there. And we had a great learning. So this DLT, that is district leader training, was for 2 days, first 2 days. And it will start at 8 o'clock, bang, and finish at about 5:30. First day we finish at 6 o'clock. Right. And after every session, we used to have a break. Now, when this DLT district leader training was there, at times some sessions were purely for the PQDs, the CGD or the district director, and some sessions were mixed. The effort was made to make sure that we are in the region, either from the same region or from the different region. So when I was the PQD, I had some people from New Zealand, I had people from North America, somebody from the Middle East, and that it really helps us to know what are the challenges and what they do. Now, the second thing, what I learned in this convention is pitching for the Toastmasters is what it brings to the value to the Toastmasters, value-based proposition, not just a learning-based proposition. We all say it's a good public speaking platform, networking. It should what values it brings to the table. And at times, the entire trio team was together and they asked us. A lot of, what Milind said, we had given a lot of worksheets, almost about 90 pages or 100 pages. We had to prepare and go. And then if you don't prepare and then somebody asks you, okay, tell me, then you feel very sheepish and foolish if you're not being able to answer. Though they don't check anything, they ask somebody else. So that is, we spend a lot of time doing that. Then we as the trio also spend some time doing that, exchanging notes wherever we find. Me and Dr. Kamalji travel together, so we discuss shooting sometime wherever I was sharing the room with Sushil. So we had, continuously talking, this is what has happened, then we should know what is there tomorrow. And this was the very important and good learning. And all the sessions which were taken by the region advisors. Now, I'll tell you something about the region advisors. The region advisors are called about 2 to 3 days earlier, and their training starts at 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Nitesh will bear with us because last time Nitesh was the RA and we could meet Nitesh once or twice. We went out for dinner. So this is what it is. They take it so seriously. They make them rehearse because all of them are projecting in front of the leaders, the trios of the world. So they want this to be perfect. And it's a very good learning from all the sessions were taken by the regional advisors of various regions. So we had a region advisor, our region advisor 8 also, Sapna Ori also took some session. There were some other region advisors took for the same. It was wonderful learning. And when you meet more and more people, you get to know more. Along with this, I got to meet and interact with Matt Kinsley, who was the president, who was the then president when DTM SEMA won the award. Then I met Raddy Spears along with Mel. We had a photograph. Then Alicia Rochette, who is the president, I had a chance to interact with her in the bonding, interaction session. So I just went and I exchanged the gifts with her. And then Murak Mattison, who was there. Then, of course, then Daniel Rex, who was the. So people generally don't get my name, but Colonel, I think we had met sometime. So I think that title also helps to sometimes, and I think it's a good advantage. And I had a wonderful learning experience with there at the International Convention. All days packed. We don't know how the time flies. Yeah, at times you feel drowsy in the afternoon. It's okay to have a cat nap in between. That's natural because the lunch was very sumptuous. So that's about it, about the convention which I shared. Now I'll get back to my role as an LE. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Toastmasters today, and back to you, DTM Milind Patawardhan.
Yeah, thank you, Colonel. And yeah, so as I said, they really make you work very hard. They send you 90 pages of advanced work that you have to do, fill up worksheets, so on and so forth. And if you don't go prepared, sometimes you feel very embarrassed. And then when you are representing your district, you have that burden on you also. And therefore, all of us prepare very diligently, almost 2 weeks before we leave for the convention. I remember even on the flight, I was filling up, so it reminded me during my early engineering days also that, that kind of a hard work we had to put, but it is worth it because as leaders, we need to train ourselves, that's very important that we understand our role. And at the DLT, what happens is you don't just learn from the trainers, but you learn a lot from your peers because you can imagine all the PQDs sitting together, all the CGDs sitting together, and the kind of interaction, ideas come up, this, that, and there is so much that you get to understand and learn during those 2 days. And that gives you the motivation to carry on with the duty after you come back. So, and I'm sure Kamaljeet, Sushil, Uday, have got so many ideas, and you can see that's what is coming out in their day-to-day activities, which we are seeing happening in the district. So we heard a lot about region advisors. So now let's hear from a region advisor. It's my privilege to introduce to you Nitesh Agarwal. Nitesh Agarwal, many of you may know, but some of you who do not know, was the district director when our district was not yet formed. He was the district director when we were still District 98. And then, of course, after that, he became the region advisor for 2 consecutive terms, Nitesh, if I'm not wrong. For 2 consecutive terms, and Nitesh had a wonderful territory. He was responsible for almost 7, 8 countries. And the region advisors play a wonderful role at the conference because they do all the training. And Nitesh is a very experienced Toastmaster, and I would request Nitesh to come up now on stage. And Nitesh, I would like you to cover these following things, which are very important, and we would like to hear it from you. I'm just
Yes,
sharing my screen. If you could tell us a little about the elections and the region level meetings. These are three things where I know you are fully involved, and
yes,
it would be really very nice if you can tell us about these three aspects.
absolutely. Thank you, Milind, for inviting me and taking convention as a theme, a very informative session for everyone. Like you would have seen in your club meeting and your district, you conduct your business meeting, you conduct your elections. Likewise, at the district conference, we see the same. We attend district executive meeting if you're part of the district committee, and if you're part of the district council, you get to attend the district council meeting. Likewise, in an amplified way, the annual business meeting is conducted at the international convention, and they share reports on various work the various committees that were appointed. They speak about the strategic plan that was in place, the goals that they had for the year, how much of it has achieved for the coming year, what the goals are. If there are modifications to the policies to be made, it is voted upon. And all the committees will come and share a report on that. It could be the realignment that is going on across districts in Toastmasters. And then they will also form committees on various feedback that we as members continue to give to the organization, or the district carries feedback with them when they meet world headquarter member or board members. So when they receive feedback, they see a trend and they form committees to work on it to see the potential of implementing it in future. One of the committee that, while we may like it or not, is around ensuring that we continue to pay dues, which is fair to the current standards and the market, because our market continues to get expensive, and also the cost of the organization increases. So they look at our membership fees and also the new member fee. So this year the new member fee got increased as part of the thing that it was presented in ABM. And the larger part of the ABM is centered around elections. Same way you elect your club leaders and district leaders, your trio when they are traveling, or if you have not given proxy and have chosen to vote for yourself, and like an owl, you're glued to your screen at night, which is not the best time, you get an opportunity to select your international director as well as your international officer. Your international officer are international president elect, vice president, international president, second vice president, and chief executive officer. Now, chief executive officer is not elected, he is there. International president is not elected, and international president elect is not voted upon. What happens is for first vice president and second vice president, and then international president elect who is moving from first vice president to international president elect, and then your international director for even odd regions. So this year it was all odd regions. Okay. And next year it will be even regions. So they have this alternate policy so that every year you will have one set of seven international directors that are experienced and seven that are coming on board as new. So the handholding is easier. So you will always have seven people who are experienced. So board is of total 19 members that you have at board. So that is how the organization is run. And apart from that, these 19 members meet throughout the year for board meetings. If you go to Toastmaster website and search for meeting minutes in the board of directors, you can see meeting minutes of last few years. They meet like 20, 21 times, depending on the demand. But on an average, they meet like 18 to 20 times. Not physically. I think physically they meet twice, once during August and once in month of March, and rest of the time it is all virtual. But you have access to meeting minutes to see what all is being discussed. That is available for public domain. Things that are classified or restricted is concealed from the meeting minutes. It is only noted restricted. Having said this, the other part of the convention that happens is region advisor gathering. That happens on Saturday, which is just before the World Championship of Public Speaking. That gives an opportunity for all members from that region to get together, celebrate birthdays like Milind was pointing out, and we do some other fun activities. And we have address from our international director, from region advisor, and also one of the international director or officer who is going to visit us just to address the members. And then district leaders share their experience of running the district and what lies ahead. There is also recognition that happens within the region. Like there are some districts that are not distinguished, but they have performed well in some of the areas. So they are recognized locally in the region gathering. And finally, the last part of region gathering is making announcements. If you would like to run for region advisor or international director office or any other announcements, you can make it in that section. So this is how the business meeting is, conducted. And along with my birthday, I am sure many Toastmasters celebrate their birthday, but Daniel Rex, who's our CEO, also celebrates his birthday on August 20th. So, we both have something in common at the convention. With this, I'll hand it over back to our Toastmaster, Milind.
Thank you. Thank you. And what Nitesh showed, that is only the tip of the iceberg. A lot more happens in the annual business meeting. It goes on for a good 2-3 hours, where they tell you the entire strategic plan, the difficulties, the plans. This time, for example, this announcement that the new membership fee will increase from $20 to $25. Last year, the revised Distinguished Club program was announced. So all these important announcements take place during this business meeting. And then region meetings, of course, international elections are held for 7 or 9 to 10 posts. And all of you have attended, many of you have attended our district elections like that. And it is all online, although most of them are sitting there. Almost, I would say 60% of the delegates are in that big hall and 30-40% are online. And the election goes on, and in the same rules what we follow in our district elections, everything is the same. Absolutely, you have a chair and you have everything, the voting, the percentages. It's really an experience to see, and I am sure the day is not too far when we will see even Nitesh contesting for the board position. So Nitesh, best wishes to you whenever you are there. I mean, you decide on that. We are there to support you. And Nitesh, I know you are also busy in office, so in case you want to drop off at some point, you may kindly do that. And thank you very much on behalf of all of us for finding time and coming us and educating us about these important aspects. Wish you the best, Nitesh. Let's move further. We have a speech coming up, but before that, I would like to introduce our next role player, who is a very senior Toastmaster. I don't know how many times he's done his DTM, 6 times or 7 times. He was, he's somebody, whom I look upon to whenever I have some difficulty, some clarification. As I'm right now being a mentor of a club in our district, and I have used this gentleman for conducting education sessions online over there. And a very selfless person who was the program quality director of our district. And it is my honor to have with us today Dr. Shakil Sheikh, who's going to be our general evaluator today. And besides being a general evaluator, Sheikh Saab, I would request you if you can tell us a little about how a member progresses from the club contest to the World Championship of Public Speaking. Stage is yours, Dr. Sheikh. Dr. Sheikh.
Good evening to all my leaders, especially to my friend, immediate past district director, TM Milind Patawardhan. Indeed, whenever there is a member who is winning at the district level in the international speech, which is in English only, these members then later on have to go and compete and come in the semi-final first, and then once if they have done it in the semi-final, then they go to the finals. Since I have been most of the time in District 79, we usually have the opportunity to have a couple of world champions visiting every time our district conference is held up every year. So through them, whatever I have learned is every person who is winning the international speech contest at the district level should have kept at least 3 speeches ready for them. At least minimum. This is what Jagran has told us in one of his lectures when he has come as a visitor to District 79. So minimum 3 speeches has to be kept, which the person has to be perfect in it. And with these 3 speeches, they go for the semi-final. And they have to have their speeches, 3 speeches. This is the best, this is the second best, and this is the third best. So whenever you want to have this semi-final, always you can try for the second best. Don't go for the third one. Second best, depending upon in which group you are, studying what type of competitors you have. And this is how we have to compete at the semi-final level so that we can be in the best last final. So depending upon those candidates studying what they have been doing in the previous thing, trying to get some more information, these semi-finalists do this, and with this they select their speeches. So the best way to go in with a better combination will be the second best one, because to keep the best one with a good message for the last part. So this is what Muhammad Al-Khatani has done it. And when he came as a chance, he was the second place winner, Muhammad Al-Khatani, in 2015. And the best person who was there was also a Saudi. But unfortunately, he didn't have the visa to the USA. And then getting a visa within that short notice was also not possible. And he has some domestic problem. So with all these things, he withdrew, and he has sent, and the district has sent Muhammad Al-Khatani for the competition of 2015. With all the things, though Muhammad Al-Khatani has a very good potential since the beginning. But unfortunately, when the final result turned out, he stood second. But yes, here was the chance for him. And he has done this speech, which he has won, words are powerful, the power of the word, which was again the best speech for him, though he has another few speeches down the lane, and he tried this only in the finals. And really, he won there. And we have been in the panel of evaluators, especially I was also the fortunate one to have the final evaluation for Muhammad Al-Khatani before he went off for his final this thing. So the best thing is, whenever any speaker who wins the district as the district winner should see that he has at least 3 speeches ready, which is the best among all his speeches, and which he thinks, and he has to be in competition. And then the second speech, if he can try and keep the final speech, the best speech for the final one. So this is how what I have learned from our champion Jagran, who was at that time have competed from USA only. So he has won that time. The Swami was his speech title, as I remember well. So this is the particular thing which I would like to tell the audience, that at least whoever will be winning the international speech contest in English will have to keep all these things ready throughout his career. As he goes up and up, he has to select, and he's comfortable. The message is very important, and it has to be general message. It has not to be limited to a particular state or a particular country, but it has to be a general message. That is what we have to see ultimately, and we have to work on this. And the best thing was, the advantage of Muhammad Al-Khatani was he was basically a humorous speaker. And though all those people who are humorous speakers, they have better chance to win the international speech. Please note down this. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sheikh. Thank you for a detailed explanation. Of course, Dr. Shakil will also be our general evaluator today. And just to fill up a few gaps, like Dr. Shakil said, from the club, we go to the area, division, district. Now today we have Sanchit Chitre over here, who was our district champion last year. This year we had Priya Verma, who was our district champion. Now both these people, their speeches were videographed and it was sent to TI, and there is an online quarterfinal which is conducted, meaning all the speeches, video speeches are evaluated. From those quarterfinals, 28 semi-finalists are chosen. And those 28 semifinalists compete at the semifinals. There are 4 semifinals which are held. Each semifinal has got 7 competitors, and from those each 7, 2 are selected. So all this happens 2 days before. So from the 4 semifinals, 8 people are selected, and those 8 go to the last day for the World Championship of Public Speaking. This is how it goes. And like Dr. Shakir also told us, you should have 2 speeches, 3 speeches. I would urge each one of you, when you're reading the speech contest rule book, all these details are given so that, if you have plans of going up to the world champion, all the rules, regulations, what you have to do, what you're not to do, everything is written over there. I would urge each one of you to study this. It's a very interesting process that TI has evolved. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Shakil, for giving us this detailed explanation. And Mayank, do you have a little time? Can we take the speech and then get you in, or you have to leave because I know you also are on
I
your
have
work?
time. I have
You
time.
have
My
time.
meetings got rescheduled, so I'm lucky today.
Okay.
We can have
Okay.
the
Good.
speech. I'll enjoy the speech of Sanchit once again.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayank. Thank you very much. Because Mayank is really going to talk about something very interesting. So I keep it for that. So now we are going to have a speech. And we're going to have a speech from our past district champion, Sanchit Chitre. This gentleman, those of you who remember at Goa, gave a wonderful speeches by the beaches, and he was the district champion. Unfortunately, he could not go further, but Sanchit had some work engagement last year, and therefore he traveled to Los Angeles and was with us. So Sanchit was with us at this convention for the 4 days. We had some wonderful time. He had rented a car, I remember very well, and he took us around Anaheim. And so today I asked Sanchit to come and ask him whether he can give a speech, and he's going to give the speech with the same title. But I think the content is going to be something different. So I don't want to take the cat out of the bag, but I would leave it to his evaluator. His evaluator today is our own district director, distinguished Toastmaster Sushil Pawar. And Sushil, please explain us the evaluation criteria for Sanchit. And Sushil has been attending the convention. I think this is probably his 3rd time he has attended. Already, I remember Bahamas, we were together, then Los Angeles, we were together, and Philadelphia, now we were together again. And Sushil, if you can, along with your role, also tell us about that wonderful event which happens the first day evening, which is the inauguration of the convention and the flag march. So she'll also had the privilege of holding a flag and coming up on stage last year. So Sushil, if you could tell us about that also, and of course the evaluation criteria, and then we will get Sanchit Chitre's speech in. Over to you, Sushil.
Sure, Milind. And in fact, attending the DLT and convention is definitely once in a lifetime opportunity for sure. It's like getting into a global village. You get to meet people all across the world. I made friends in almost all continents. That's what I can say. And all thanks to the DLT and the convention. So DLT, a two-day affair, as our Colonel and PKD explained. What I like most about it, the inauguration speech, the first speech at DLT, and generally it is given by all president-elect as well as international president, not international president, our CEO Dan Rex. And every year he comes up with a message. So when I think when we were in Bahamas, the first message which I liked most was like leadership is like a swamp. You have to get down, you have to get your hands, feet dirty. And that's the way you have to act. That's the way you have to lead. And this year he gave another beautiful message about keeping the main thing the main thing. That means the focus should be always on the prize. So in this case, district being Smedley or distinguished and above. So the reason why these messages are given is not just from one perspective saying that we need to meet numbers what is bring that experience. That's what my understanding and learning. Now coming to the convention inauguration ceremony, it's a beautiful colorful ceremony. Everybody, as I said, it the word becomes miniature. The word get compressed in that miniature conference room. So you see people from all across the world in their own traditional dresses, and those dresses are amazingly detailed. I mean, carrying those dresses all the way through flight, you can imagine how challenging and difficult it would be. But still, people make that effort. You see people on Chinese traditional dresses, Japanese traditional dresses, as well as African traditional dresses. Everywhere you can see the tradition flowing all across, and the tradition flows on the stage also. So every country is introduced alphabetically, and every country's representative is given an honor to hold the flag. I'll be very happy to tell that next year, the district director of District 125 is going to wear the flag for Indian flag, which is a very competitive thing because we have 8 districts in India, and there is a roster built to it. It was 124, and then after 124 it was 120, and then it is 125, and then later it is 126. So for some magical reason, our 120 is not after 124. But that being said, that's really an honor. Our my peer Abha, she had that honor last year when it was in fact 15th of August, and that gives you a lot of pride. But even if you don't able to hold your nation's carry nation's flag, you can definitely chime in and volunteer for countries whose representatives are not there. I was fortunate enough to represent one such country where the representation was not there. It was an African country, and then going onto the stage, holding this flag itself is a one particular way that is described to you. There is a elaborate rehearsal which goes on for 3 or 4 hours. You may look like, why is it's a simple ceremony? Why this 3 4 hours of exercise? So this 3 4 hours of exercise pre-work helps us to navigate, saying that what exactly we are going to do, and it reiterates the steps into our mind so that the execution when it done is flawless. The inauguration ceremony also has a wonderful keynote speech. I like the one in Bahamas for sure, and it had a very simple message. Yes, reaffirmation, reaffirming one thing to self again, twice, and maybe more than that. So you will find many such key addresses in the convention. Coming to my role as a evaluator, I'm going to evaluate speech of Toastmaster Sanchit, and he is going to present a project from his presentation mastery level 3 and project 2 path storytelling, connecting with storytelling. I will leave it up to the Toastmaster today to introduce the speaker and to announce the speech title, but I will read out the speech objective. The speech objective of this project is to make sure, give me a minute. Yeah, here it is. The speech objective of the project is for speaker to tell a story and connect with his audience. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, TM Modi, IPDD, TM Milind.
Thank you, Sushil, for the elaborate explanation on what happens in the inauguration of the convention. Like Sushil said, it is a global village. It is so colorful. People are dancing all the way. There are continuously music, and every country keeps coming up with a flag. Vishal, I remember, was standing right in the front over there doing a lot of videography during this time's function, and it is a totally charged up event. And especially when the person with the Indian flag comes up on stage, your chest expands and you feel so very proud that you belong to that. And as I said, last 2 3 times this happened during the Independence Day, so we all had carried our flags, small flags, and we were all waving, and believe me, that day there were in that. And at the convention there are a lot of Indians, huh? Lot of Indians, I would say, all put together, besides of course the 7 8 districts, about 20 25 leaders are there. I can say that out of there are at least another 25 desis from from India who are in the other districts and who are in the district leader position. So you get to see so many of them also, and especially in the US, there are many districts in the US which have got club road directors, district directors, PQDs who are of Indian origin. So thank you, Sushil, and now it's my pleasure, honor to get you on stage. Our speaker for today, who needs no introduction, speaker belongs to the club and a district champion. What more can I say? Speeches by the beaches. Toastmasters stage is yours.
The sound of waves kissed the shore and filled the air. Seagulls cried overhead, and children could be heard laughing in the background. This was all happening in Long Beach, California, as I laid on my beach towel. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, friends, have you ever had an out-of-body experience? Well, that's what beaches do to me. This feeling of not knowing where I am, who I am, or even what time it is. Suddenly, I realized, oh my God, the World Championship of Public Speaking starts in an hour. I sprinted back to the hotel. Yes, Toastmasters, last year, I had the wonderful opportunity to attend the World Championship of Public Speaking and the centennial celebration of Toastmasters International Convention in Anaheim, California. As our district champion last year, I was hoping to represent District 125 on the world stage, but I fell short at the regional quarterfinals. At first, I was disappointed. But then I thought to myself, you know what, Sanchit? Just do it. Go to the convention anyway, just like Vishal was saying. And I'm so glad I did. My God, the experience was unforgettable. While our beloved district leaders were busy in their business meetings, I had the free time to soak up every moment. And yes, even a little bit of California sunshine. I spoke with several semi-finalists on how they prepared their speeches. Got to meet past world champions who I had admired for years. Aaron Beverly, Darren LaCroix, Mark Brown. I even had Darren review one of my past speeches. What an experience. From the flag march that Sushil was talking about, to keynotes, accredited speakers, presentations, 4 rounds of semifinals, the energy and the synergy between Toastmasters was electric. And finally, the moment I had been personally waiting for, the World Championship of Public Speaking. I remember waiting outside the big auditorium where the finals were being held, crowded and with fellow sharply dressed Toastmasters, all eagerly waiting in anticipation for the doors to open, as if they were waiting for a table topics question being asked of them. As the doors open, I rushed in the front and got the perfect spot to witness what was about to happen. 3rd row, center stage. And oh boy, what a grand venue that was. Now, mind you, I have taken part in several contests. I love taking part in contests, but I could not imagine what the finalists would have going through in their minds as they walked on that grand stage. From Luisa Montalvo's touching story about strangers helping her during her hardship, to Hannah Cheng's humorous take on stepping out of her comfort zone, to Angelina's brilliant display of vocal variety in a speech on AI. I just sat there with goosebumps on my hand, tears welling occasionally, and of course, laughter breaking through every now and then. I realized I was having another out-of-body experience. Second one in that day. For years, I had believed that unless you don't have an extraordinary story, you cannot compete on the world stage of international speech contest. So I kept searching, dismissing my stories, doubting my stories. But that day, I learned something profound. That most of the stories were not extraordinary. They were simple, ordinary, human. What made them powerful was the extraordinary way in which they were told, how they bridged the gap, how they made us feel. Now, words may fade over time, but feelings are eternal. And in that auditorium, on that day, I felt everything all at once. It's a memory etched in me forever. My friends, isn't that what Toastmasters is about? Not perfect grammar, not flawless delivery, but finding courage to share your story. Because no matter how ordinary you think it is, your story might be something that gives someone that ray of hope, those goosebumps, that laughter. For me, it took speeches by the beaches literally to realize this truth. Lying on the sand in one moment, third row of the finals in the next. So friends, don't wait for that perfect story. Start with the ones you already have. Find your story, shape your voice, let it be heard. Because somewhere, someone is in that third row of a grand auditorium waiting to be inspired by your speech. Whether it is from the beaches, from the boardroom, or even in this very room. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Sanchit. What an inspiring speech. And you see, this title was the same, but the speech was entirely different than what he gave at Goa.
Actually,
And
point of order. My title was different, but I chose this speech because it was a punchline or a tagline of the Crescendo conference last year. Speeches by the beaches.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for the correction also. What was the title, by the way, of your speech?
Feel the wave.
Sorry?
Feel the wave.
Feel the wave. Yeah, feel the wave. I remember that wonderful speech of yours. And it's much aligned to speeches on the beaches. So wonderful. And the electric atmosphere which Sanchit so vividly just now described is absolutely there. At the same time, you are at comfort, okay? I mean, it's a big stage. There are about 1,000 people in the room. A huge stage is there. The World Championship of Public Speaking, the contest chair is always the international president-elect. So this time it was Stefano Maggi, who will be the international president next year. He was the contest chair. And everything happens like what we did in our district conference. So the district conference last year, the protocol which we followed is exactly what happens over there. So while of course it is a big stage, sometimes experienced speakers, we feel at home. It all happens. You have timers sitting over there, and judges are already allocated. So it's pretty normal, pretty simple. But it like such a like Sir Sanchit said, the messages are profound. The content of the stories may be simpler, but the way they present it, Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, and I hope Sushil and Vishal, I hope you have the connect with Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, having danced with him on the dance floor. And I hope we are able to get Sabyasachi. Sabyasachi is from Bombay, by the way. Of course, now he is in Netherlands. And I'm sure we will be able to get him for a keynote speech or education session just before the ISC contest starts in the next term. So thank you very much, Sanchit, for taking us through this journey. And we will now move. I'm not sure whether we are a little behind schedule, but okay, I think we seem to be doing well. We now will get into our table section. Yeah, Sanchit, you can leave. No evaluation for you. Your evaluation was fantastic. So Sushil will, of course, tell us what he felt. But if you have to leave at the right time, Sanchit, you can leave. Or Sushil, be ready. Maybe soon after the table topic, we'll try and squeeze your thing. So we now have Dr. Kamaljit Kaur Sidhu, our club growth director, who's been with our district leadership now for the last few years. And I have known her from very close quarters and I have seen her operating. And she's going to be the table topic. And she's also going to tell us a little about her experience. Kamaljit, before you start your table topic session, if you can tell us what was, this was your first time that you attended a convention. What were your experiences, especially at the DLT, because Club Growth Director is a very important position. So please explain us how you felt, what you did, what you learned from it. Over to you, Dr. Kamaljit Kaur Sidhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Toastmaster of the day, TM Milind. And my leadership journey, actually, with respect to district, has started with TM Milind as the part of his CGD extended team. So, whatever I think I have reached till now is because of the pathway which was shown to me by him. When it came to going to the convention, let me tell you, it was a mesmerizing experience, not just because we got all those pre work done. I was very happy when I was asked this particular question by the other district officers whom we met in Mumbai. The first thing which was asked was, is your pre work done? And when I said, yes, it's done, she was looking at uh, her CGD saying that, look, she is already prepared and you are still going to do it. And they had a layover in Heathrow, so they said that they will do it when they had that layover. But I think preparation is the key uh, because our region advisor had been after us, telling us that complete the pre-work, and I could foresee that training because we had the entire sessions mapped in the form of a workbook. We had breakout sessions where some of the sessions were with the trio, but some of the sessions were only with the club growth director. So I met so many of them with so many different type of cards, and the like Milind sir mentioned, it starts on time. So the funny part was, you all know that we are 12 hour behind in US. So I was having my breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is rare. 6 o'clock I go to my yoga, and now this is the time when I actually sleep. But uh, since District Director DTM Sushil had mentioned to avoid the jet lag, don't sleep. So the day we reached, we didn't sleep. We slept at proper time so that the jet lag could be avoided, and we were all prepared when the session started. We were very active, and what I learned, especially when the uh, session started, our international president Radhi Spear, she spoke about keeping the mission real. So she had made it very clear that don't talk about some fancy goals. Look at what you have achieved in the past and start building on it. Similarly, second Vice President Gauri Sheshadri, she mentioned about connection conversations where she told us that you have to network in the next few days. Of course, at the cost of reputation, like our district director mentioned, the best takeaway I had from the DLT was keep the main thing, the main thing, the main thing, which was mentioned by our chief executive officer, Daniel Rex. And one of the things which I really liked was, is accountability a dirty word, which was mentioned by our international president elect Aleta Rochette. She somewhere I felt that all these things, and including the uh, education sessions which we had, which was the one I attended was by Kate about dismantling burnout. Let me tell you, it actually helped me in working on a real burnout which I was facing at that particular time. I don't know. Hello. Am I, yeah, fine. So, friends, I feel that it's a golden opportunity and the trainings are far more serious. So, I wish I had attended this training before we took DOTP because we were given a vision board. And now we are going to use that vision board in our next DOTP. Because of that vision board, we have a clarity on how to achieve our goals. So, these trainings are very seriously taken. There are a lot of activities and they are practical. It didn't make me feel sleepy at all, despite the fact that some of the sessions were post lunch. So they take a lot of care and feedback after every session of how this session could have been better. And let me tell you, I couldn't actually give them any suggestions because they were really done and crafted in a good way. With that, I would say there are too many things, and we would definitely discuss about it one on one when we meet in person because the experience is something which has been etched in my heart. Lot of synergies, networking, and even now I got a accountability partner who is a person from New Zealand. He's an Indian, but he's a person from New Zealand, and we catch up every week to see how we are doing. I catch up on him. He asked me how we could have done better. So I think this is a golden opportunity, and those who are still thinking whether to apply for the area director, let me tell you, because that is going to be your first step towards this particular direction. Don't think twice. Go for it. With that, now I will be switching over my hat to the role of table topic master. Friends, we all know that table topics is that segment of a Toastmasters meeting where we develop the skills of impromptu speaking. Table topics help train members to quickly organize and express their thoughts. You can think on the table topic speech as a mini speech with an opening body and a conclusion. For the benefit of guests, let me tell you that you have to speak for at least 1 minute, and at 2 minutes 30 seconds, you get disqualified. So please ensure that you wrap up your speech by 2 minutes. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. At the cost of repetition, let me tell you the word of the day is synergy and the idiom of the day is bridging the gap. So let me help you in bridging your gap with impromptu speaking in today's meeting, and let us synergize our thoughts with whatever we have learned for the day. Who would like to go first? I would request you to please, yes, raise your. Yes, we will do 3 table topics as per instruction given by a Toastmaster of the day. And I would request somebody who has not spoken till now to take up.
We have our founder president Ajay Hiraskar sir with us, and we would love to hear him for the table topic. So if you could just call him one.
Yes, so may I request Azu Master to please spotlight. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. May I request you to choose any number from 1 to 12?
9.
9. Okay. Your topic is best way to sneak out of a convention session. Best way to sneak out of a session in convention.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Such an interesting topic. Well, I've had one experience of attending the international convention, and that was in the 100th year, where I was there at Anaheim, and it was definitely a great experience. And here you are given a challenge of figuring it out. How do you sneak out of a convention session? Well, there are several techniques that I could possibly think about that what could do, which will bridge the gap between you feeling claustrophobic inside the room and wanting to network and meet up with so many people, delegates from all across the world. Or you could think about the synergies that you could derive out of how you would be able to leverage this experience to ensure that you're making new friends all across the world. But let's get to the topic itself. What would you do to sneak out? I think the smart thing to do is to obviously grab a seat at the back, which is near the door, so that when you want to, if you really feel bored or if you're really not impressed by whatever is happening on stage, then you can sneak out, right? That's the simplest kind of a logic. But unfortunately, the problem is that at an international convention, most of the sessions are so very interesting that you are actually better off grabbing a seat as close to the stage or as much at the front as you can, because then you can actually see live what is going on, look at the expression, look at the speakers, learn and absorb from the energy of that convention. But nevertheless, even if you want to sneak out, believe me, it's worth the effort, because sneaking out gives you the opportunity, like I've said, of being able to interact and meet with so many other people from the world. When I went to the convention, I made so many new friends. I enjoyed the time that I had. I landed up dancing in between when including some of the events were happening. They would play music, and you could dance on the aisles and walk around, and all of that really adds to the fun, festive learning atmosphere. So whether you're inside a room or whether you're outside it, you'll have a whale of a time. You'll really enjoy yourself, because the convention is an interesting place to emerge as a better version of yourself. Next time when you get the chance, grab the opportunity and sneak into the room, not outside it. Thank you. Back to the table topics, Master.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Who'd like to go next?
We also have with us past District Governor, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajesh Raga. We would love to hear from him as well.
May I request our Zoom master to please spotlight to DTM Rajesh Raga?
This video is off.
May I request you to please choose one number from 1 to 12, barring 9?
10.
Here is your topic. If you were a convention chair, what weirdest convention topic you would choose?
Madam Tabletop Master, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, the weirdest convention topic to be chosen. Now, if I were to arrange a convention, if I were to manage a convention and I need to attract people to attend the convention, is this sounding to be a great idea to have a wackiest topic to choose, the theme to be chosen for the convention? Well, for the challenge, let's accept the fact that I am asked to choose one. Way back, about 8 or 9 years ago, in one of the international World Championship of International Speech Contest, there was a title of a speech that went on, believe me, for at least 5 lines, not 5 words, 5 lines. And the contest chair had to read that whole topic twice. And it had people in splits. And I thought this kind of weirdest, wackiest thing to be done is to make the attendees remember long after they have attended this, long after everything is gone past, but they would still remember, like I am remembering the title of the speech. So today, if I were to ask or suggest a wackiest theme to be chosen, I would choose let's go to Sri Lanka. I mean, this must be surprising for you. Why? What is the wackiest thing? The problem is the simplest is the wackiest, in my opinion. Now, as an Indian, we would be very, very happy to travel to Sri Lanka, watch the elephants, and have the theme in the jungle with the elephants and bananas. And have something of those dances, of those fun-loving things that Sri Lankans are so good at doing, the dancing on the streets and all that stuff. But believe me, this would be the wackiest thing that I can even couldn't imagine to do. And that would maybe bridge the gap between the one that you see, keep the main thing, or things like that to make it reverse in our order. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. That reminds me of that particular topic. Uh, I can just read it out for the benefit of all of us. The title of Aaron Beverly's speech was Living a Lasting Memory Using as Few Words as Possible and Strive with Every Fiber of Your Being to avoid being the type of person who rambles on and on with no end in sight, more likely than not causing more listeners to sit and think to themselves, oh my goodness, can somebody please make this stop? This was the title of his particular speech because and absolutely sometimes when you make certain things sound weird, that can even attract people more. With that, may I have the last speaker for today's table topic? DTM Neha, I need your help.
Yes, we have a veteran Toastmaster Manish Kumar in our club, and we would love to hear him.
May I request our Zoom master to please spotlight Toastmaster Manish Kumar.
Manish, if you could start your video.
Yeah, actually, I'm in hospital. The mic may not clear, but I would like to explain.
Hope everything is all right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, fine. So if you are comfortable, may I request you to choose one number from 1 to 12, barring 9 and 10.
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay, here is your topic. What makes a keynote speech truly unforgettable? What makes a keynote speech truly unforgettable? Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Got the subject.
Yes.
Topic. It's very important to bring 3 important content in your speech as a takeaway. If you think of adding values to someone with giving some aspects, which take it to the next level, is you're solving the purpose. The value which convey your experience, which your resilience, and it give message to the audience to take away and implement. And it's also not to be implement, but it's to transform. Recently, I was listening. So your audience should be not the listener, and with the speech of you, they should be transformed themselves. That is very important to bring in your keynote speeches. I'm being a passionate youth mentor. I'm also talking about the 3 actions to take from the any of the youth or any of the audience who is in my session. First, know your strength. Second, take action, and then create your roadmap. When you blend all these 3 and integrate your life, definitely the vision board which you have brought from the international conventions will give you more shape to move towards that direction. So this 3 things must be in your keynote speech, that adding values with the 3 actions plans, what I have experienced, and that's what I would like to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for reminding me to look at my vision board more frequently. With that, let me request our timer to please tell us whether all the 3 speakers have qualified.
Yes, all the speakers have qualified for voting.
Thank you so much. With that, I hand over the control of this virtual stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Milind.
Thank you. So we are not going to have any voting because I don't want you to put you people in a fix. I am sure with these 3 wonderful speeches, you will have a tough time deciding who was better today. So I'm going to save you that trouble and jump to the next session. We are a little short of time. So now I'm going to invite Mayank. Mayank needs no introduction, past district director. He was the club road director and rather he was the when I came into this district, I remember he was a division director, and then he was the district marketing manager. That is when I first got to know him, and then of course the district director. And Mayank has been at least two conventions, and he's what shall I say? He's a everybody at the convention remembers him, and even today, even at Philadelphia, your pictures were being flashed on the big screen, Mayank, so often because you were so prominent in the last two conventions. So I'm going to request Mayank you to cover the following topics which are highlighted in the red on the screen. One is the Hall of Fame, which you have been on the big stage. I know that. So tell us a little about Hall of Fame, what happens, and who are the people who are called upon, and also tell us about that fun night, sing along, dancing, which you so much enjoy. So these two topics, if you can please cover, Mayank, in your short speech of maybe about 4 minutes, I would be very grateful. Thank you so much, Mayank.
Thank you, District Director DTM Milind, Honorable Club President DTM Neha, for organizing a wonderful meeting. Dear present and past district officers, distinguished Toastmasters, and dear guests. Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. These are the core values of our beloved organization, Toastmasters International. And you will see all these core values amplified to its core in times of an enriching experience that they bring in the Toastmasters International Convention. The most important aspect of all this convention is to give a memorable experience to everyone who is attending, be it in person or online. And the minute you arrive at a Toastmasters International Convention and you see your Indian flag lined up along with other flags, you really feel proud about it. I had this feeling twice, and both the times our members performed so well that our district had achieved Smedley Distinguished District recognition. Now, it is important for us to understand that in Hall of Fame, there are all district officers, leaders, international directors, international president, and the address of the international president begins, and they acknowledge the international directors who have served over all the years. So that is a beautiful thing of recognition which is done in the Hall of Fame. Then we have the presence of all the dignitaries, region advisors, starting international directors, and everyone present there. And one by one, they will explain the criteria for distinguished and above districts, so that everyone is well informed about the ceremony. And the preparation for this also goes for a very long time. And if you are one of the trio members, like I had the opportunity to lead our district as the district director, so you are informed about this well in advance, and how the proceedings will happen, how the agenda will flow. So you are absolutely well prepared when will be your sequence. And they are absolutely on time, precision, clockwork you will experience in the Hall of Fame ceremony. You will also come to know what is your sequence and when you are going ahead. So all this information flows into the district director. So we had the presence of our district champion at that time, Toastmaster Sanchit, who had joined us. We also had DTM Ajay Hiraskar joining us when I was the district director in the 100th Centennial Year Convention, and others. We had DTM Milind also, who had traveled. My partners in crime at that time, DTM Social Power, our then serving division director and then elected CGD, now PQD, Colonel Uday, and many others in the likes of DTM Usha Uday Shankar, Dr. Uday Shankar, and all. So we all had traveled and to California for the 100th Centennial Year. And it was a lovely ceremony. Delegates from 140 countries, as they say that The excellence is one of the core values of Toastmasters. You will witness it in the Hall of Fame. And imagine a room filled with achievers, and you all, the vibes are so amazing that you get energized for the rest of your life of your Toastmasters membership. I'll come to the fun part of it, which is the ceremony, the dance ceremony. Yes, it is amazing. One of the highlights is also presidential dinner, where you also get the chance to dance with many people. And if you are lucky enough, like me, you will get flashed in future conventions. With this, I will hand it over back to our amazing IPDD, TM DTM Milind. Thank you so much.
Mayank has been rather modest in describing it, but you should have seen him dancing on the floor in Bahamas as well. I mean, absolutely, it was electric to see him dancing, and it was fantastic. So thank you very much, Mayank, for describing. But Mayank, if you can also help me see if Prasad is Sony is joining. Yeah, till I go further with the meeting. So let's go further with the meeting now.
Sure.
Let's have the evaluation session, and it will be conducted by our Dr. Shakil. And you all have seen Dr. Shakil in a very dignified state, right? Always you would see him suited, booted, well dressed. Has anybody seen Dr. Shakil in Bermuda shorts and a colorful t-shirt and dancing?
I have.
A few of us have
It
seen
is
him. I
difficult
remember
to
that
imagine
evening.
him in Bermuda
Yeah.
dancing.
No. He is a very colorful person. I remember seeing him that day at Bahama in the evening. We had gone for a stroll in the nearby market, and it was so very nice. And that really goes to show this person's humility. That despite being so respected, when it comes to having fun, he's amongst us. Dr. Shakil, please conduct the evaluation session.
Very good evening once again. And again, as a general evaluator, I would, without wasting much time, I would like to invite our handsome, smiling, distinguished Sushil Pawar as our present district director on the stage, who will be evaluating our only speaker, the champion who has almost gone to the international stage. So here, please give a round of applause to our evergreen hero, distinguished Toastmaster Sushil Pawar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheikh Saab. Indeed, it is always pleasure to hear introductions from you. And speaking of introduction, the speech project was more about storytelling. And boy, oh boy, Sanchit served us not just buffet, but a dessert also after the speech. He literally transported us with minute details like mentioning third row, what is happening before the doors are open, the excitement, building up that excitement with words. That was something which was very different and unique. The purpose of story is to create that anticipation, and Sanchit had left no stone unturned to create that anticipation in the speech. So kudos to you, Sanchit, for creating an environment and transporting us literally in Anaheim, for taking us verbally or picturing a mental picture there. So kudos to you for doing that. The second thing which I like about his speech was more about being vulnerable. He did told his own story, saying that how he felt dejected when his speech was not selected, but how he still chose to attend the speech contest and the convention. It does require a lot of courage to open admittedly that something you don't like or something you feel bad about. Being vulnerable opens up you to be a leader. That's the single greatest trait of a leader. And thank you, Sanchit, for demonstrating it so beautifully, so eloquently. Indeed, you did build a bridge with your audience on that point. The third point which I liked about his speech was about expressing the feelings. We are
built up of 70% water and 100% emotions. All of us get easily swayed by emotions. And as a speaker, you have to sway your audience by identifying the feeling and the pulse of the audience. So, Sanchit, you did share the feelings. You made sure that all of us were singing and swaying with what you were picturing to us. So, kudos to you on creating that experience. Now, if I had to give you two suggestions, I'll start with first one. The first one is, of course, which you corrected right immediately after speech, saying that my speech title was not this, but I wanted to have that. Having a speech title which is coherent with your message helps a lot. And in fact, reiterating that point helps you to anchor it much more into your audience. And the second point, which I will suggest, is about creating body language in virtual space. You can come closer to the camera, you can go beyond, you can go to one corner, create that moment in virtual space. You can do it effectively. So with these two suggestions and the amazing recommendations that I already have for you, I think you are set as a storyteller, and I'll look forward to many stories from you. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Milind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Precise and very much on the point. A motivational evaluation done by our evaluator. Now I would like to call upon our timer in case if you want to give the timings of the speaker as well as the table topic speaker and our evaluator, the only evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Sushil Pawar, he may give it and he can mention the timing or he can just say qualified to save the time.
Yeah, although the speaker has qualified, all the table topic speakers have qualified, and the evaluator spoke for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so he has also qualified so far.
Thank you so much. So here is our timer who was on the dot, alert, and very much adherent Toastmaster Abhishek. Thank you, Abhishek. While going through this, I will try to complete the individual performance also. Now going to the second individual who has been a colonel in the military, a tall personality, a deep voice, possesses a deep voice, and definitely he has been seen all over the Facebook, either giving lectures or collecting awards and applause. And he's none other than the present Program Quality Director, one and the only one, distinguished Toastmaster Uday Saab. Uday Saab, as a language evaluator, kindly take up and give your report for the audience. Distinguished Toastmaster Uday Saab.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, DTM Sheikh Shakil. I'm humbled by your words, what you said about me. Nonetheless, going to my evaluation report, first I will talk about the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Word of the day was used by Vishal, Kirti, Sanchit, DTM Kamaljeet, and DTM Ajay. Idiom of the day was used by Vishal, Abhishek, Sanchit, and DTMs Ajay, Rajesh Daga, and Nitesh. Pardon me if I missed somebody because I was so mesmerized by the synergy which was there. I must have missed somebody. Now, some good usage of the words which were there, I would like to give that. Partner in crime, mesmerized by the speech, global village, keeping the main thing, leadership like a song, reaffirming, seagulls cried overhead, soak in sunshine, synergy was electric, out of body experience, keeping the mission real, connection conversations, grab a seat near the rear, emerge as a better version, enriching experience, and no stone unturned. Apart from that, I would like to say I did not come across any grammatical error or mispronunciation or words which were, I would say, which were not correctly used. I mean, all of them were perfect. And thank you very much. And back to you, the General Evaluator, DTM Sheikh Shakil. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I would like to call upon a new discovery. Yes, definitely when our immediate past district director said, he is a new discovery with a lot of energy and synergy I have seen in him. And he is none other than our counter, Vishal. So I would request Toastmaster Vishal to kindly use your report to remove all the distractive noises from the speaker's voices. So please give your reports. Toastmaster Vishal.
What do we have today for the flawless meeting that we had and the flawless speeches? As I begin the word with flawless, the only few words that I have marked on is from the man of the match, today's man of the match, who has taken maximum amount of time and who invited me here for this role. I have few of marked things, but somehow the part was really major. I think this meeting was really flawless. I didn't mark much of ours, ums and so's. They were very few and negligible. It would be criminal if I have to spot them each and every one. So I think today's meeting was flawless and I really enjoyed it. So thank you. Yeah, this was my report.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, in my precise report, I would just touch on those stars who have come down from the universe in our meeting. And these people whom I will just like to mention as per their appearance since the beginning is our regional director, distinguished Toastmaster Nitish Agarwal, a person whom I have observed not only in the clubs also, the way he was a district director, the way he carry things is very gracefully. This is what I can, and I have again seen him in the training part, and I know I cannot explain, the way he takes up, and every workshop of his is really you must attend. And in case when he's in Pune, try to arrange some workshop which Nitish Agarwal will be taking, distinguished Toastmaster. Really the graceful way he takes and the things he makes so simple, it is really wonderful. And today I have seen him again speaking on a very important topic. Second star was my own distinguished Toastmaster Mayank Naidu, a person whom I can say a giant, a gentle giant. He has been very much particular whenever he has been working, whether he was an area director, division director, or take his role as a district director. He has managed so diligently. I can always appreciate him, and I have no words still to describe the way he works and how he make people work. That is another thing also to be appreciated. So, Mayank, thank you very much. After a long time, I have seen my district director speaking. Thank you, sir. So that the third part, which is there, has to be, I will also consider. I will come down to the Toastmaster of the day at the last, but now I would like to speak about Sushil. The way he has risen up from the horizon, is just like a star. With a smile, whatever tension he must be having, but you cannot speak. And I have seen him because most of the time when I was there in Bahamas, he was my room partner. And I have chosen him as my room partner because, it is very easy to be having a room partner who goes for a jogging, who goes for a swimming, and come back and sleep silently without disturbing anybody. So this is something, whenever you are going to convention, if you have a good room partner, you are very lucky. And indeed, I was lucky. So thank you, Sushil. The way you evaluated wonderfully. And coming to the speaker, I think the name Sachin always means something very much depth. Sachin Tendulkar came and he went and became the highest thing in cricket. So here is our Sachin also. And Sachin, you missed one time, but I always wish you the best. And this time you give your best speech Sachin, and we want to see, as Mayank used to tell, we want to see somebody going for the world champion from District 125, and possibly this time you try hard. Okay, so best wishes. You have given a great speech wonderfully, and I appreciate every word. And this was the eye opener for other people like me to go behind and try our thing in the speeches. Thank you very much, sir. Now coming up to the other role player, sir, I will take you in the last Milind Saab. Sergeant at Arms, wonderful Toastmaster Rashmi. As been told, you are both the front. Commercial wise, also, I wish you best. You can have your commercial estate, your office, personal, and see that you have a lot of staff. And we can see our club growth director having a club in your office also. So thank you very much. Rashmi, thank you for your hard work in preparing all this thing. Now coming up to the president, Neha, for the role player, real player, whatever it is. But really, Neha, I have always appreciated you, whether you were there as a president or you have been a very good in command. Any role you take, and you have so much resources that you can immediately phone up and have 4 to 5 members standing in queue for the voting judge or for anything immediately. So I would be very lucky, to have you as the chief judge. So then most of the work will be over. Thank you very much for showing us and compiling this great things. And I saw my picture also there. Thank you very much. Now coming up to the person whom I am going to have the 3 stooges. The 3, as if you want to have something, you must photograph or videograph our Ajay Sahab. He is a typical, as a table topic speaker, you make is a model and make a reel and you just play for the newcomers. The way he plays, any topic you give, the way he takes the turn. Sir, you are just genius. The second person selected was a dynamic and dashing person. And the word expression really comes from his facial expression. And he's Daga Saab. Daga Saab, salute to you, sir. After a long time, I'm seeing you speak on this platform. And the third one is, who was the third? Yes, Manish Kumar. Really, Manish, I could smell the hospital environment, being a doctor. And really, I can tell you that you are speaking from your heart, from the hospital only. And with this smile, really, you will be very soon be declared as a normal person. Thank you very much, Manish, taking the risk of talking all the way from the hospital for our listening is really a very important thing. Now coming to the table topic master. Once the speaker is over, smiling, she is a doctor, PhD. She is a professor. The way gracefully she carries herself, I really appreciate. I wish that every professor, every teacher be like her. No ego purpose, no ego problem, so polite. I think your students must be really, and your institution must be very lucky to have Dr. Kamaljit Kaur, ma'am. So best wishes, appreciated your efforts in today's session. Now coming to the last but not the least, yes, the red light is over, but I will like to speak for my great friend, Milind Saab. We are both from the Gulf. There are many members here also from the Gulf, but this gentleman, so sober, so sweet, and he is so graceful. The way he talks, the way he takes everyone, the person sitting in the last row also, he takes him into consideration. This is something, comes with experience. And that is what I can say, Milind Saab, you have the experience of a person who cannot neglect anyone, Thank you so much. Every time, whenever you call, you will see me standing at your command, sir. Thank you very much for this particular session. You have given a role and opportunity to me, and also things to talk, and so good people, at least to tell something good which I felt in my heart for them. I can express on this platform, truly from my heart. Thank you very much. And back to you, Mr. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shakil. Thank you for a wonderful evaluation of the entire meeting. I know we are a little late, but the last and the best is reserved for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody who has joined about 15 minutes back, who I would say in way person because of which we exist here today as Toastmasters in District 125. This person can be truly called a Bhishma Pitamaha of the Toastmasters fraternity in India and in particular in Pune, because he is the one who started Toastmasters in many parts of India and definitely in Pune. You may have heard about various clubs when you go, especially the older clubs, when you go to clubs like Genesis or Infosys and places like that, you will hear his name very often because he during that time started numerous clubs. And he has, of course, been in various leadership positions, all the three, and has attended several district conventions. And therefore, it is my honor and privilege to bring up on stage distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor, Prasad Soni, who I think is in the car or something like that, but has still found time. So, Prasad Soni Sahib,
Hello,
maybe
am I
on
audible?
3 to 4 minutes about your experience
Sure,
at the conventions would be very, very exciting for us. Stage
sure,
is
sure.
yours.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Milind, and thank you very much, everyone, for allowing me to speak despite the time being 9 today. The first thing we learn at International Convention is that we are part of a much larger fraternity and we connect and bond with others. Just as we have our district's newsletter, which is published every 3 months or so, the board meeting of Toastmasters is conducted 4 times in a year, twice in person and twice online, and they announce whatever are the changes in the organization during that board briefing in the International Convention. But I believe everyone else has spoken about the convention, so I'll speak about the fun part of it. For me, the greatest advantages of attending the convention have been the network which I have created with friends all over the world. As Milind mentioned, I was there for 3 years, and in all 3 years, we excelled in performance. So all the other districts look at you with respect, saying we had the same challenges of price rise, but you rose above that and you performed so well. So they look at you with so much respect and adoration that you feel too good about yourself at times. The second thing that happens is that you bond well because you meet 3 times in the convention and 3 times in the media training, which in our case was in Asia, in Beijing, Bangkok, and Bangalore. So there again, we met same individuals, and because of which we bonded so well that when I visited their countries later on and wrote to them that I'm visiting your place, they not only hosted me, they picked me up from the airport or the train station, the way I went there, and hosted at their home, showed me around for 3-4 days. In one place in Sevilla in Spain, the lady who hosted me and my son gave us the keys of her home and said, I'm leaving because my mother is unwell, but you stay here for 3 days as discussed. And my son asked, how did she just go like that? How does she trust us so much? So I said, because of Toastmasters. That is the power of Toastmasters, that you bond well with others, you create a network all over the world. I have been hosted in many homes all over the world by Toastmasters. And that is one thing which can happen if you serve in a tireless manner as a leader. So my advice to all those here in this room who are not yet district leaders, please take up district leadership. Please serve as area director, division director, and then go on to serve as a trio member. And then you too will have such a network. Today, you tell me you have a problem in any country in the world, and I can solve that problem while sitting in Pune because I have a network of people all over the world like that. And you too can have that network. You can build that network if you attend the international convention regularly. If you cannot travel to USA because you don't have visa, you don't have time to go there for such a long time, try to attend that at least online. You have the option of attending the convention online now. In good old days, there was no such option. Now that we have this option since COVID, you can attend the convention online, witness the speech contest. one more important thing is watch semi-finals. They are too good. They are better than the finals because every speaker has two speeches to deliver, one for the semi-final and one for the final. And the semi-final is their best speech usually. If you have any questions, please shoot them to me later on. My mail ID and phone number I can share in the group of the meeting, and we can talk more later on. But for now, I'll sign off and hand you over back to Toastmaster of the Day, Distinguished Toastmaster Milind.
Thank you. Thank you, the past District Governor Prasad Soni Sahib. It was a wonderful. Thank you very much for joining. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think we have more or less covered a few things which are not, golden gavel, keynote speeches somebody spoke. Accredited speaker, again, is something, you can, if you give a lot of speeches, paid speeches, then you can get an accredited speaker thing. But for that, you have to go and give a speech over there. There are evaluators who will evaluate you. And only if you pass through that, then you are given the title of being an accredited speaker. So I really wish somebody from our district sooner than later reaches this position. I think district stores, these are all very normal things. Road to international leadership, I think Prasad covered this. There even at the conference, at the convention, they hold a session where they tell you, okay, you are being a district director now or a program quality director, what more you can do? Whether you can go for a region advisor, you can go for international director, international officer. They give you a very clear roadmap. What are the pros and cons? What are the expectations? What are the things that you have to be careful about? How do you apply? So they are very transparent in all this. So that's what I'm saying. In Toastmasters, besides being a good speaker, there are a lot of opportunities for us. And like Dr. Prasad Soni just now said, I think it is very important that all of you who are sitting over here, that I started in this club as a member and have been able to reach that level. Why not all of you? And that's exactly why I conducted this session, was to give you that charge, give you that motivation, give you that target, give you that goal, give you that aspiration, that do it. Please do it. Take up such roles and go further. And like Prasad said, I also said next year, convention is going to be in Vancouver. If you can't attend it in person, do attend it online. And like Prasad said, the semi-finals of this last thing are available online already. On the Toastmasters website, if you go, you can see the semi-finals. You can see all the 28 speakers speaking over there, and they are absolutely lessons in Toastmasters, lessons in public speaking. Take benefit of all these things. So with these few words, I'm going to sign off. I know I am late, but let's back to you, Madam President. And thank you once again, all of you, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Milind sir, for this fantastic session. First of all, let's have a big round of applause for Milind sir. Yes, we all can show hearts to Milind sir for the virtual applause as well. Thank you so much. It is such a wonderful thing to share with fellow Toastmasters. Many Toastmasters, even in our club, are new Toastmasters, and they are in the first year of Toastmasters journey. And getting to know about way beyond district as well is something sets the tone and vision for all the Toastmasters. So thank you so much for taking up this role. And I would also like to thank all the stars of today's meeting, all the International Convention attendees. Oh my God, you've made me you gave me that FOMO effect. I wish I knew Toastmasters during my 6 years stay in USA. I would have definitely attended all 6 years. But when it's the right time, it's the right time, I guess. So very soon, probably I'll be attending one of the conferences. So with this, I would say thank you so much, one and all, for joining our meeting, especially our district director, our PQD, our CGD, and all past district leaders. Thank you so much, Vishal. I didn't know you attended the international convention. Definitely will catch up, and I would like to know more from you as well about the convention. And all the leaders, thank you so much, Ajay sir, for joining us, Rajesh sir, for sharing your insights on the table topics. Ajay sir, we would love to hear I know we are getting very late, but it never hurts to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you 2 minutes about Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs before we actually wind up this particular meeting.
Hey, thanks, Nehal. Let's not hold back people, but I can only say one thing, that it's been such an amazing experience having chartered this club, and the kind of people that we have here, the connections, the friends, the networks that we built here. So I'm sitting in Uganda, but still, because Neha reached out to me, Milind reached out to me, I promised that I will come and join the meeting once my sessions are over in the day. And in between something else, we're going out for dinner in some time now. But it's an experience you can't stay away from. So if you're not a part of the Entrepreneurs Club, be a part of this. It's a great, I mean, Toastmaster itself is a great community, and the Entrepreneurs Club is an extra great community within that. So it's a great place to learn, grow, meet friends, and actually, even if you're in business or professionally, you'll actually do much better in life. Thank you. Back to you, Neha.
Thank you so much, Ajay sir. And indeed, if somebody is yet to transfer their membership to our club, our VP membership is more than happy to fill out all the forms for you all. And thank you so much. So this is not about promoting our club. This is all about sharing the international convention, basically. Definitely. But all I would say is I have some very important announcements. First of all, because this is the contest season, we have our division contest lined up. Our Division B contest is scheduled on 5th of October. I would request everyone to please ensure that you register and attend the division contest, and not just our division contest. Try and attend all division contests, because all the speakers are best of the best from their division, and it will be a wonderful experience for each one of you. Along with that, we will be having our 444 milestone meeting sometime in November, first or second weekend. We are working on it, and very soon we'll be sharing the date. And kindly save the date and ensure that you all come in large numbers to see the spirit and power of Toastmasters for Pune entrepreneurs there. Along with that, our district director requested one more announcement, which is the mid-year convention that we are having this year. For the first time in District 125, we'll be having a mid-year convention, which is scheduled on 30th of November. As soon as the registration links are out, I would request you all to kindly register for the mid-year convention. This year, our humorous and evaluation speech contest at the district level will be scheduled at the mid-year convention. So these were our top 3 announcements, and looking forward to seeing you all in our upcoming meetings. Thank you so much for joining. And with this, I officially end our meeting.